that we'll be able to call on you. I'll just kick it off here because I know a lot of people want to ask about your excitement, but welcome back as defending champion. What's it like to be back at this tournament?
I love this event. It's so fun and so unique, and to be able to play with the celebrities, I look forward to it every year. And so, to come back this year and be defending champion, it's definitely a different and cool feel. And, I'm just really excited to tee it up on Thursday.
We had Marty in here earlier who held you in high regard as he does a lot of the LPGA Tour players out here. What was it like winning this event in particular and kicking off your season last year like that?
I have a lot of fun playing with Marty. I was able to play with him one round last year as well, and he ended up being the champion. So it was pretty cool to hold a trophy with Marty Fish, So it's just a really unique and exciting week. And, I just talked to Marty actually just a few minutes ago, and he's obviously an amazing tennis player, and then also he's an incredible golfer. So just to see how talented all these celebrities are and what they do, and then come out on the golf course and hit good shots, it's really cool for us.
All right, I think I'll open it up because I think people are itching to talk to you. I'll open up here in the room first. If you'd like to go first with the microphone in front of you. If you have any questions.
Mike Brodsky, Florida National News. You've obviously played in this tournament a number of times. Have there been any celebrities that made you feel starstruck or flummoxed when you were paired up with them?
Yeah, absolutely. Almost every year I get at least, at least a couple people that I'm pretty nervous on that first tee. But a few years ago I played with Vince Carter, and I said to myself, I can play in front of Vince Carter. I can play in front of anybody. So after that, it's been a little bit easier. But, there's just so many amazing people, and they're also so talented at what they do. So to come out here and play a round of golf with them is just a lot of fun, and learning from them, and they ask us questions as well. So I feel like it's just a really a great week, and I think the fans really enjoy coming out to a golf tournament, but also seeing these other pros in a different element.
You've been on tour for a while. You always, I imagine, have an approach to the season opener. Is it any different for a celebrity tournament, and what's the approach this week coming back as the defending champ?
Yeah, this is a great way to start out the year. It's an amazing atmosphere. It's really fun. There's concerts 3 nights of the week, big parties, and it's just a little bit more chill, and it's great vibes, and it's a great way to kind of start out the year. And, there's only, I think, 43 LPGA Tour players this year, so it's a smaller field, and, if you can get off to a fast start, you can get a high finish.
With this course, we know Lake Nona is a difficult course, but also with this weather, it was just raining a couple minutes ago, with the temperatures going up and down. Just how difficult are the elements in this course as a whole?
This is a very challenging golf course. It is a lot of fun to play, especially if you're hitting it well. It can be a lot of fun, but you really have to know where you're going, and you kind of have to have a strategy going in. But with the weather, the way it looks the rest of the week, with pretty cold temperatures and windy and possible rain as well, it's gonna take a lot of skill to navigate. You're gonna need some good bounces, and you're gonna have to be tough because it's not gonna be easy.
Can you talk a little bit about the goals that you've set for yourself on this upcoming LPGA Tour?
Winning this event last year was a huge boost to my confidence, and I've always wanted to win at this event. So that was really big. And then, the rest of the year I maybe didn't play quite as well as I would have liked. So, coming into 2024, I'm excited to get it started again, and, hopefully lower my scoring average a little bit, and which will hopefully put me in contention more times throughout the year on the weekend. And that's all you really want, is an opportunity to win or an opportunity to be great.
Brooke, you're often one of the more positive players out here. How did, after a year where you won out here really quick, I know it didn't really maybe meet your standards, but it was a pretty solid season overall. How did you reset coming into this week and this season?
It was a super fun way to end the year with CME, which is always a great event, and then to play Grant Thornton and to have Corey Connors as my partner. We really gave it a run there on Sunday on the final rounds, and we ended up finishing second. So it was kind of a great way to start the off season. And, it was pretty short off season, so I didn't really do as much as I would normally, but, it was nice to rest a little bit, prepare and practice for this year. And like I said, I'm just really pumped up to be back here at Hilton Grand Vacations and to be playing with the celebrities and playing an amazing golf course like Lake Nona.
I know it's a really short off season for the LPGA Tour, but what were you really fine-tuning, working on maybe mentally and physically as you looked ahead to 24?
Yeah, I put in some new irons late last fall, and I really loved them a lot. So just continuing to work, being a little bit more consistent with the iron play, but they've made a big difference in my game. And then I also changed my fairway woods and driver as well, and my putter. So it's been a really big change the last 2 months, but all very positive, and I feel like they're really gonna enhance my game. So hopefully I can start off putting them to good use this week and throughout the rest of the season.
Last one for me. What mentally goes into really having a fresh bag now, having a brand new bag? I know TaylorMade's been newer for you as well, but having to switch everything out, like what goes into that mentally, trying to get ready for a tournament like this where you're defending?
Yeah, the stuff that they came out with is just so good that it was really easy and quick change. And I love being a part of Team TaylorMade. I feel like it's been a great change for me, and being alongside other amazing athletes has been pretty cool. And, I feel like my game's in a pretty good spot right now. And, with new equipment and new season, there's a lot of positives. And, hopefully we'll see some positive change when I tee it up on Thursday.
I know John has a question on the Zoom. If you'd like to unmute yourself.
What's up, Brooke? How's it going?
Good, John. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. I guess I have a couple questions for you. My first question is, you spoke towards the end of last season about how, you won this tournament last year, and then, you didn't win again. How did it set the tone over the course of the year that you started with a win? Like, how do you go from a win and keep up that high level of play?
Yeah, I feel like with golf, it's a roller coaster. There's lots of highs and lots of lows, and you kind of just have to continue to ride it out and be patient. Starting out with a win here last year, definitely huge high, and then I did have some lows throughout the year, but I feel like near the end of the season, I was starting to climb my way back up. That second place finish at Grant Thornton was really fun, playing with the PGA Tour guys. And, I just started to see a lot of positives near the end of the season. So just tried to continue that on through the off season. And, I'm excited to be playing here this week, playing next week as well. A couple weeks off and go to Asia, which I always really look forward to playing those events over there as well.
You mentioned to me before, and you alluded to it, obviously you've got a whole bunch of new clubs, but I know you're particularly excited about your driver. What is it about it that you like?
So I did a shoot with TaylorMade in November, I guess, and I hadn't hit the driver, and I had to use it that day for some photos, and I used it on the range, and I was like, wow, I love this. So it went immediately into my bag, and it's been such a great change, and I've gained a little bit of distance, and I feel like I'm hitting it a lot straighter, which gives me a lot of confidence moving forward.
For a bad golfer like me, what immediately appeals about a driver like that? It sounds like it had an instant impact for you.
Yeah, for sure. Consistency, forgiveness, I think it is better than the previous stuff I was using. I feel very confident with it. And as I mentioned, hitting it a little bit further. Distance has always been very important to me. I'm pretty short, so it's nice to, maximize, all I can do. So if a club gives me a couple more yards, I'm definitely going to take it, especially since I had to go down to 46 inches 2 years ago from the 48-inch legal limit. So anytime I can try to gain a couple yards back, I'm all for that.
Cool. Thanks, Brooke.
Thanks, John. Adam, if you'd like to unmute yourself.
Sounds good. Hey, Brooke.
Hey, Adam.
Quick question about sort of the schedule and 2024 as a whole. Obviously, the Olympics are on the schedule this year, the majors, of course, the CP Women's Open, of course, as well. When you look at the schedule, you've won so many times on the LPGA Tour, but when you think time for the majors, time for the Olympics, and I got to get up for those big events, how do you kind of compartmentalize the week in and week out effort on the LPGA Tour versus getting up for the big events?
Yeah, it's a very busy schedule this year, which is really exciting, and I'm really looking forward to the opportunity to play in so many different events, and some different events like the Olympics. It only comes every 4 years, and it's a great opportunity to go and represent your country. So yeah, there's a lot of exciting events. The British Open, AGI Women's Open being played at St. Andrews, which is like a dream come true to be able to go play at the home of golf. The Women's KPMG Women's PGA, going back to Sahalee where I won in 2016. So there's a lot of weeks that I feel like I'm really excited for. So it is going to take a little bit of planning and scheduling to make sure that I can try my best efforts to be peaking for some of those, top events in the middle of the summer. But I think I'm just really excited for the opportunity to be playing week in and week out against the best in the world. And, our purses continue to go up. We're playing great golf courses. So it's just a lot of fun to be out here.
I know it's only January, but fast forwarding to December, that'll be the 10th anniversary of you turning professional. Do you ever allow yourself away from kind of the week in and week out grind of the LPGA Tour to maybe realize and kind of zoom out from that and think about the people you've inspired or the accomplishments that you have had over the last 10 years?
I think perspective is a great thing, and being able to step back every once in a while and, just be grateful for how far my team and we've come, and then also, to get back into the moment and see what we can do in the future. But yeah, it's pretty cool. This will, I guess, technically be my 10th season on the tour. So it's gone by really, really fast. And I hope that I have inspired and motivated the younger generation to, pick up the game of golf or, just chase and pursue whatever is in their hearts and whatever they dream to go after. So, it's been a lot of fun for me, and, hopefully the best is yet to come.
Awesome. Thanks. See you in a few days.
All right, we'll go to Bob and then wrap with Kent. So Bob, please first.
Oh, there we go. Hi, Brooke. How are you?
Good, Bobby. How are you?
Thank you. Two quick ones for you. One, what's going on with the thumb wrist thing that you got going there?
Yeah.
I'll let you do that one first. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, so I've kind of had a bothersome thumb for a long time now, since 2017, off and on. But last year, I guess in the middle of the summer, it started to bug me a little bit more. So I've been, taping it, not consistently, but every so often. So, trying to strengthen and trying to, help it out so that it won't be as bothersome. But as of right now, the tape does a good job, and, just hopefully it won't be as painful in the future.
Okay. Second was you taped that big Christmas commercial for TaylorMade. I'm assuming that's the thing you did in November, and I'm not sure. I know sometimes they finagle a few things, but were all the golfers in one place at one time? And if not, how many of you were there? And I guess the question is, did you spend any time with Tiger if he was there?
Yeah, we were all there together, which was really cool. And I sat beside Tiger at the breakfast, and that was pretty cool for me. But yeah, to be in the company of all those talented players, it really means a lot to me. And I feel like I was very inspired and motivated to be in their company.
Was that the first time you spent some time with Tiger?
Actually, last year, I met him for the first time at the TaylorMade shoot, so it's been a couple times now.
Okay, thank you.
And off to Kent.
Brooke, is there a technical medical diagnosis for what's going on with your thumb? And how does one do rehab for a thumb injury to make it stronger?
Yeah, so I've just been seeing the LPGA physios. They've been doing a really great job, and just trying to, I don't really know the technical stuff, but, they're just trying to do different things to loosen it up and make sure that there's not too much stress going on it. But, obviously being a golfer, there's a lot of repetitive motions, and so there can be a lot of stress on it. So over the off season, I went a few weeks where I wasn't practicing as much, and my thumb was great. But no, as the season has gotten closer and I've been practicing more, it started to come back a little bit. So, hopefully it won't last forever. But I think, while I'm playing, I'll probably have to deal with it at least a little bit.
Are there any particular parts of the game where you feel it more than others?
Definitely the long game. So full swings, you feel it more.
And this is a really short off season coming off the Grant Thornton Invitational. You talked about coming into year 10. What's it like to manage such a short off season and then roll into the next year?
Yeah, it has been really short, but I'm just hoping that I can keep the momentum that I had near the end of the season and bring it right into 2024. That's kind of the goal, but, it's been fun. I actually, in September last year, I took 5 weeks away from competitive golf in September and October. So that was kind of a little bit more of my off season, where this time I didn't view it. I just viewed it as a few weeks off and a shorter off season. So it worked out all right.
sure. Thank you so much, Brooke.
Thanks, Kent.
Thank you, Kent, and thank you for joining us, Brooke.
Thank you.
Perfect. And you just sit right there. Do you want a water? Get you a water.